Fred, look, I gotta start off, Fred. Thanks for coming on today. This ridiculous meeting in Beijing with Tony Blinken. Basically, he was ridiculed, made fun of, mocked, laughed at, and basically he asked for one thing, which was better communication between the U.S. military and the CCP military, and Xi Jinping said no. What was the point of this visit, and what did we accomplish, Fred Fleets?
Well, John, there's a lot to cover here. Let me first say that the America First Policy Institute, we are staffed with some very senior former Trump officials, but we are a 501c3. We will work with whoever the Republican nominee is for president, and we may even work with the Democratic nominee. Maybe that's not likely, but we are nonpartisan, and we're going to support whoever the nominee is. This visit was such a travesty. First of all, China scolded Blinken before he left. And if you've seen images of the meeting he had with President Xi, now we know that Bill Gates had a one-on-one meeting with Xi and Pompeo had a one-on-one meeting. But when Blinken met with Xi, Xi was at the end of a long table with lots of Chinese and American officials on either side to make Blinken look like a minor functionary who Xi went on to lecture. And the whole meeting was couched on the problem in relations is America's fault, and what must the United States do to improve relations with China? This was really a very bad example of America not showing leadership, and I think our relations will get even worse with China.
Why did Blinken allow himself, his department, or prestige to get mocked and ridiculed in such a demeaning fashion?
You know, that's a good question. And Senator Tom Cotton put it this way. He said, I'm tired of seeing the Biden administration chase after Chinese officials like love-struck teenagers trying to get a meeting. The Biden administration is desperate to improve relations. They're desperate to improve trade relations. And it looks like they'll just say anything. They'll agree to any meeting. They'll chase any Chinese leader to try to get some scraps from them to improve relations. And look, we didn't get what we wanted. We wanted military to military communications. China said no. We wanted a hotline between Xi and Biden. China said no. I just think it's foreign policy malpractice.
So, I mean, look, he was over there kissing their butt, right? They wanted a meeting so bad. It was a complete public relations disaster for the United States government. Again, it shows you the incompetence. But I gotta ask you the other thing, Fred, straight out, right? Just straight out. This is the guy that was the head of the Biden Penn Center who got paid $1 million a year, and he got that money from the Chinese. I mean, this is fact, right? This is no subjective or alleged. We know what his salary was because it's public record, and we know where they got the money. I mean, they got to be looking at this guy sitting at the end of the table, laughing their tail off. Like, you just got $1 million. You had a salary of $1 million for doing nothing. And it all came from us. I mean, doesn't that put him in somewhat of a compromised position, just that, Fred, in and of itself?
Well, look, he got that money. Joe Biden was paid $900,000 by the Penn Biden Center. We know $10 million went to the Biden family. And for what? What were the Chinese buying? What did the Biden family have to offer to sell to China? Influence. Influence with Joe Biden. Influence with a man who might become president someday, because this started when he was vice president. There are many, many people who worry that Biden has been influenced or compromised by China and by these huge payments to his staff and to his family and to himself. And it's getting harder and harder to dispute those allegations.